as a guest. If you are a guest, as much as possible, keep your video on so that speaker gets a near live experience. Please stay in the professional posture when you are on the videos. Kindly stay throughout the meeting and enjoy the Toastmaster experience. Do not exit abruptly from the meetings. Team has taken a pain over the past week to conduct the meetings, and it will be an insult to exit the meeting abruptly and is not a dignified manner. In case of urgency needs, mention about your exit politely in the chat group. Please keep the chat windows always open in the corner of your windows and use it for a quick communications when the meeting is in the progress. Now it's time to welcome our presiding officer. Our presiding officer is a Toastmaster since 2009 and looking every opportunity to refine his leadership skills and communication skills. He is Toastmaster Saravanan. Let's put our hands together to welcome our presiding officer, Toastmaster Saravanan. Over to the presiding officer.
You are in mute.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Monasundaram. Good afternoon, Toastmasters as well as guests. How are you all doing?
Doing good.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure to see all the smiling faces, although I'm a bit far from the club now, but I can see all your smiling faces. Thank you for that. And with this happy note, I am glad to welcome you all to the 692nd meeting of Medley. And with the sound of this gavel, I declare the meeting open. And now I'm very glad to invite the dignitaries who have joined the meeting today. DTM Thomas Abraham, I can see. And thank you for joining. And can I see DTM Guru Prasad? Is he available? I don't see him, but I welcome him also to join as one of the role players for today. With this is the time for us to introduce our guests who have joined us today. I know in the in-person meeting, we have two guests. Can you please come here and introduce yourselves and let us know what your expectations for today's meeting all about?
Yeah, sir, could you please come and introduce yourself about it?
My name is Narendra Keshav. I live in Koturpuram, fairly close by. And I'm happy to say I am a next door neighbor of Doctor here. This is my second meeting. Why am I here? Just to make some good friends, nothing much more than that. Other things and all over the years I have imbibed. Anyway, happy to see lovely faces. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Narendra. Actually, I mean, I know, like, I mean, this is your second meeting, and I saw you in IIT Madras last time. I hope, like, I mean, this will be a good platform for you to meet more people, network with people, and you find this a good one for you. And please keep coming, and please keep us know, like, I mean, what your thoughts are about the meetings and all. Thank you.
We have two more guests here, so we'll have them introduced. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, Satya, please.
Happy evening, all. This is Dr. Satya here. This is the fifth time I'm coming as a visitor. And one more time I'll be coming, you have to bear with me. Only from September, I'm planning to enroll with the Toastmasters. So thank you. This is creating a lot of excitement. This forum is absolutely beautiful. I'm learning every meeting, every word, and keeping my mind open. So happy learning, and let's learn together. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sandhya. I'm very glad Medley has passed the test of time for the past five meetings. Thank you. And finally, you have made up your mind to join. Good. Fine.
Hi, my name is Constant James. Last week I visited for this meeting. This is the second week. I work for HSBC I joined here to probably to build a networking as well as to increase my communication and presentation skills. Thank you.
Thank you. Keep visiting us. We
Definitely.
have one more guest.
Yeah, sure.
Hussein.
Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Suhail, and this is my third meeting. This is my third meeting here, and the positiveness and the learning which I got it from the previous sessions, giving me more enthusiasm and confidence to attend the session regularly. Hope I take the more benefits from this meeting. Thank you.
Definitely. Thank you, Sohail. Actually, whatever we have seen here, right? The guests who are coming very often, that's the success of Medley, I believe. And I hope this positivity as well as the energy will be there forever. Thank you. Any more guests? Okay, fine. So any more guests online? All our members, I guess, right?
We have guest Seshadri Muralidharan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Seshadri.
Good afternoon to all. This week I have joined as the guest again. I started as a guest last week, and I'm not yet 18 to join as a Toastmaster, so I'll be participating as a guest. Thank you.
Definitely. Thank you, Sheshadri. Please keep visiting us and share your thoughts as well as knowledge on the meetings. Sure. Thank you. Well, today is a very special day. Dr. Anuradha, what is a special day today? World? I am not even. World Mosquito Day. Wow. Excellent. World Mosquito Day. I am hope you have Googled that and then found out that today is World Mosquito Day. Any other day? Sorry? Yeah, any other day? Today is Saturday. It's also a special day. Okay, so there is a famous quote, you are never too small to make an impact. And that is very much reminiscent of World Mosquito Day. So don't think that yourself is small, because any small thing can make an impact. And that is because of mosquitoes, right? So last week, how many of you know about Rakesh Jhunjhunwala? Good. So last week was a very sad day as far as stock markets are concerned, because we lost Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, the big bull, and who was India's Warren Buffett as well. His life was an inspiring story. He started with a capital of 5,000 rupees, and when he died, it was around $6 billion US. So from 5,000 rupees to $6 billion US. His life is a true story of long-term commitment, enthusiasm, as well as the thought about India's growth. So this is very important as far as stock market is concerned, but this is also important as far as Toastmasters is also concerned, because Toastmaster is a rewarding experience for everybody. When you commit yourself for long term and be enthusiastic to take up roles as well as speeches and work on continuous improvement, definitely you will reach your goals, that is short term as well as long term goals. So for that, we have got an opportunity as well. We have our club renewal planned for the coming term, that is between October 1st to April of next year. So we have this upcoming term, and our VPM has already sent a note on what is the early bird offer as well as the plan for renewals as well. So please ensure that you plan for that, because that not only help you to reach your long-term as well as short-term goals, but also would help us in 880 award, that is 8 new members plus 80% of retention of membership. So that is also very important. Please ensure that you renew on time, and we have very limited time only. Now, I would like to call our VPM to let us know how Medley has shaped his career. Over to Toastmaster Venkateshan.
Hi, thanks, Toastmaster Saravanan. So this was the experience which I had since I joined Toastmasters, Medley Toastmasters in January 2021. Since then, most of the meetings I am part of the online meetings due to personal constraints, but the journey so far at Medley Toastmasters has helped me a lot in my personal as well as professional path. So in my professional life, in the last 6 to 8 months, I had encountered around 5 forums, gatherings within my organizations where I had to deliver some speeches. And I can tell proudly that in the last, all these forums, there was a consistent and constant feedback that my speech has a pure clarity with no filler words. So whenever I hear this feedback from the audience or the participants there, I always bring Medley, and I thank Medley in those forums. So though we know that our counter and the tag roles are of the very less known roles in Toastmasters meetings, but they have a very crucial place in our growth as the leader, as well as in our public speaking skills. So there are a lot of things to me to learn and for all of us, but every bit of the meeting is very critical and important, and please pay attention and learn from those feedback, not only from the evaluators, but also from the tag players. As we have a special session today, I wanted to highlight this. Thanks for this opportunity, President Toastmaster Saravanan. Back to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Venkateshan. That is very inspiring. And I'm sure like most of the guests as well as the members would take a cue out of that, how Toastmasters can shape their career as such. So to take the meeting forward, we have a person called as Toastmaster of the Day, who manages the meeting, adhering to the agenda, and ensures that the meeting starts and ends on time. Today's session will be driven by a very passionate as well as inspiring personality, as well as a fitness enthusiastic. This person is the founder of Dynamic Strength Club, and who comes early to the meetings and ensures that the setups are completed. Today afternoon around 2 o'clock, he called me and told that, hey, nobody's there. Am I in the right place? So that's the kind of enthusiasm as well as the commitment that this person has. Please put your hands to welcome the ever smiling and helpful Toastmaster Dharan.
Thank you, President. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests. March 12th, 1930, a simple person started a journey which shook the entire world, which showed that we have to think out of the box, which brought the freedom to our nation. Can you tell who is that? Can you tell the name of that movement? Exactly. March 12th, 1930. The person Mahatma Gandhi. No, the movement. I said he started a movement on March 12th, 1930. Am I clear, sir?
1930, he joined Congress in India.
Sorry, 19? Yes, same year he started that. No, not 1917. He joined in Congress. 1917. 1930 he started that movement. 1947 we got the freedom. Yeah, no problem. So 1930 he started that simple movement. 387 kilometers of walk, nothing else. Just 387 kilometers of walk. And he didn't say anything. He said, we walk, we walk, we walk. And that walk brought the freedom. And that walk confused the entire British. And they were not, they didn't have any idea how to break this one, because they were simply walking. But then the power brought the, which means the influence brought the freedom. And in that process, Gandhiji faced a lot of obstacles. And whenever he faces the obstacles, he always says, the obstacle is the way. Ladies and gentlemen, today the theme is obstacle is the way. So when Gandhiji was crossing that 387 kilometers, in the middle of the journey, he met with a very serious illness, where the doctors were advised that he has to take non-vegetarian, which means at least take for the protein eat where he can sustain for the rest of the kilometers. But Gandhiji strictly refused that he's a vegetarian, he will not take the non-vegetarian. They tried a lot, he went up to very serious condition. Even he was almost close to death. The doctors were trying a lot, but Gandhiji was stubborn. I only take vegetarian food. And they were confused. They said, if he doesn't break it, he cannot be alive. But then he found a way. He found a way, same protein will get from the goat milk and groundnuts. When you join it together, the same amount of protein, which comes from the non-vegetarian meat, you can get it and still you can move forward. And the doctors were surprised. He gave a shock to the doctors. He ate it and he recovered. And he started the journey again. Before I extend the story, in Toastmasters, we have 3 modules, which means prepared speech session. And the second is the evaluation, table topic sessions. And third one is evaluation. Today we have another one, which is educational session, where the educational speaker will come and empower the entire Toastmasters to set the standards high. So to run the meeting, I have set of team. So first is the general evaluator. This person, when I asked about the theme, he said, I haven't faced any major obstacles so far. And he's a married man, quite fortunate. He's working for TCS for 20 years and lived in US for 5 years. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together to welcome the general evaluator of the meeting, Toastmaster Dinakar.
Thank you, DM Modi. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests. How are you all doing? Okay. So we all know about autopilot used in flights, right? So it's nothing but a computer which collects data from different sensors that is put in the flight. It tracks 3 attributes like speed, altitude, and turbulence. Based on that, the autopilot corrects itself every minute. It collects data from the sensors. It corrects every minute. The pilots, actual pilots, they take care of only the takeoff and the touchdown. In between, that entire journey is managed by the autopilot. But still, there are corrections needed every minute based on the route that is fed into the computer. Similar to that, as Toastmasters, we all need to correct ourselves. And then here, to help us to correct ourselves, we have this evaluation team. As a general evaluator, I will be evaluating the whole proceedings of the meeting for the day. I also have set up teams. So we have tag team, which is again like other parameters that autopilot uses. We use the different parameters like time and the way that we deliver the speech and also the grammar that we use and also expressions, and everything is actually tracked by this evaluation team and given as a constructive feedback to all our Toastmasters. Now let me invite the tag team first to start the evaluation session. Timer today, Toastmaster Moinak will be playing the timer role. Moinak is actually running his own startup, which is in the robotics field. And again, like related to the theme of the day, for him, obstacle is like it helps to improve our determination and the grit, helps us to overcome all the obstacles. For the Toastmaster Moinak to go through the roles and responsibilities.
Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters. So today I am the timer. As a timer, I will time the table topics, formal speeches, and evaluations. I will also alert each speaker of the time they have left using green, yellow, and red cards, which denote specific times remaining. Table topic speakers should limit their remarks to not more than 2 minutes. At 1 minute, I will raise green card. At 1 minute 30 seconds, I will raise yellow card. And at 2 minutes, I will raise red card. For other speeches, it should be of 5 to 7 minutes or 4 to 6 minutes. We have 2 speeches today. So we have one is for 4 to 6 minutes, another one is for 5 to 7 minutes. Generally, we have green card at the time of 5 minutes, a yellow card at the time of 6 minutes, and red card at the time of 7 minutes. For individual evaluations, the timing is 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I will be raising the green card. At 2 minutes and 30 seconds, I will be raising the yellow card. And at 3 minutes, I will be raising the red card. Over to you, Junaid.
Thank you, Toastmaster Meena. Next role play is our accountant, Toastmaster Anuradha. He's actually a doctor and also works in Satyabama University as the head of the Department of Physiology. And about the theme of the day, he says that it helps us to increase the determination, and it is a stepping stone for all of us, and it helps us to improve in our life. Over to Toastmaster Anuradha for the roles and responsibilities.
Fellow Toastmasters and guests, good afternoon to all. As an accountant, my role is to note the words and sounds that are used as crutch or pass filling by anyone who speaks. During the meeting, I'll be listening to the overused words, including and, well, but, so, and you know. Then I'll also be listening to the filler sounds like am, and I. And I'll be listening to the words which are repeating. And at the end of the meeting, I will give my report when GE calls for it. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anuradha. Toastmaster Anuradha has the passion of yoga, so anybody interested in yoga can get in touch with. And also, like anything related to dentist, you can actually reach out to Anuradha. Yeah. Next role play is grammarian, Toastmaster Rajesh Rahul. He works for Disney Hotstar. And then about the theme of the day, it helps us to realize our own potential and obstacle. Don't worry about it. We will solve it. It's within ourselves and then to overcome it. Over to Toastmaster Rajesh Rahul.
Thank you, Jimmy. Hello, everyone. My role as a grammarian is, threefold: to note down the improper language usage by the speaker, to note down good usage of word, phrase, quote, or sayings, to introduce the word of the day. Word of the day is adroit. Can you please show the word of the day? Yeah. So adroit is an adjective. It means skillful or tactful. Example, in a positive manner, it can be seen became adroit at dealing with difficult situations. And in a negative manner, it can be used as he was adroit at avoiding taxes, which we should not do. We should pay our taxes diligently. Each speaker is encouraged to use the word of the day as much as they can. I'll submit my report once called by the GE. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, grammarian Toastmaster Rajesh Rahul. So with this, I'll hand it over to Toastmaster of the day. We'll come back on the detailed evaluation session. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dinakaran. So when Gandhiji was doing that 387 kilometers walk, he was 61 years old and he felt very young. And ladies and gentlemen, he gave a very shock to the doctors and he found us his own nutrition. And he brought out all the Sanskrit nutrition books, and then he started his own dieting. And he completed that entire that yatra successfully, and the doctors were shocked. Still, the nutrition, the nutrition which he gives from the book, The Experiment with the Truth, was the best nutrition for the non-meat eaters, which means the vegetarians. That's what we believe in fitness, right? So today we are going to start the first, prepared speech session. So our first speaker is attempting Project Mastery Level 1 Icebreaker. Before I call upon the speaker, can I call his evaluator, Toastmaster Prasanna Vani, to read out the project objectives?
Thank you, dear Modi. Toastmaster Prasanna Venkatesh is delivering a speech on the pathway Presentation Mastery Level 1 Project 1 Icebreaker speech. The purpose of the speech is for the member to introduce himself to the club and learn the basic structure of a public speech. All the best to you, Toastmaster Prasanna Venkatesh.
Staying away from his family and living on his own, the biggest hurdle this person faced so far in his life. However, he thinks that changed his life better than ever. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together to welcome Toastmaster Prasanna Venkatesh to break his ice. Change is the only constant. Toastmaster Prasanna, change is the only constant.
Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I am Prasanna Venkatesh. I am from Tanjavur. In my childhood days, I was a very mischievous kid, and I was not that much into studying. Till my 9th standard, I was very playful. And the major transition in my life happened is the study phase of my life. I started studying well. I topped my class, and I scored very good marks. At that time, students who scored very good marks are entitled to pursue doctor. Myself, my parents, and teachers have encouraged me to do the same. My school teachers had shown me the marks of my previous students who have scored the best marks and how they got into top-notch medical institutes. Not an exceptional one. I also had the dream of becoming a doctor. I started preparing well, and 2 years passed by. Unfortunately, I couldn't able to score the cutoff marks. And then I had two options. Either I could pay the capital fee, join in the college, or simply I could take engineering. I chose the latter one, which is EEE. I took EEE. Previously, I had a goal of becoming doctor, but now I had no clue at all. I don't know why I took EEE. I was figuring out why we took EEE. Eventually, 4 years passed by. And then I came to know that EEE is not for us. And another change in my life happened, which is I took IT as my career. I prepared for 8 months, and then I placed in a startup. So from my school till job, there is a one skill which I haven't developed, which is public speaking. And I never really cared about that. In my school days, I haven't been that much into public speaking, and I never really cared about that. In college, I almost had 2 stage experience, and that even didn't go well. That reflected in my job as well. It was on my training session, job training. The instructor asked someone who has never spoken in front of the crowd has to speak the summary of the class. As expected, I remained silent. But the HR sitting next to me had a very different thought. He stood up and told, Prasanna has never spoken before. I was like, what did I do to you? I went to the stage, I fumbled. I couldn't able to speak fluently, although I knew well about the summary of the class. I was embarrassed. I realized that how I have missed the opportunities of developing an essential skill. That day, I made one decision that I have to improve my communication skill. Struggles will always be there. We have to choose our own struggle. This is my favorite quote. I could correlate this. I could be in my comfort zone, be the same stagnant Prasanna, or I could start developing my public speaking skills, putting some extra hours in a week, reducing my leisure period. So I took the chance and I chose the latter one. So this decision made me to join here in the Medley Toastmaster Club. So this is a story of how I got here, breaking the ice in front of you. One lesson I have learned so far is that that might sound cliche, change is the only constant. Apparently, that's the title of my story. Thank you. Handing over the stage to you.
Story from stagnant Prasanna to Toastmaster Prasanna. The second speaker is attempting persuasive influence level 3 project, connect with the storytelling. Before I call upon the speaker, can I call his evaluator Toastmaster Raghunath Mishra to read out the project objectives? From online.
Thank you. Thank you, TM Modi. So, am I audible?
Yes, yes, you're audible.
Okay. So today my speaker, the target speaker is delivering level 3 project 1 from the pathway persuasive influence, and the project title is connect with storytelling, and the purpose of this project is to practice of using a story within a speech, or delivering a speech as a story, or a story as a speech. And the timer, please note the timing is 5 to 7 minutes. And also this is a speech repeated by Toastmaster Jagan, which has been delivered earlier, and he wants to deliver it again in front of the in-person audience. Over to you, TM Modi.
This person is famous for his guitar and singing his songs. Yet he is single, unfortunate. And he haven't faced any obstacles yet. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together to welcome Toastmaster Jagan on stage. Let it rain, Toastmaster Jagan, Toastmaster Jagan. I didn't expect that introduction. Sadly, it is also related to my speech. Imagine walking through the beach, holding hands with the love of your life. Do you remember that feeling? The beach sand is swirling, seamlessly swirling through your feet and fingers, finding its way back to the ground. You could feel the little granules of it under your feet. They don't hurt you, they just cuddle you. The early morning sun is not too hot, not too cold, just the right temperature to produce enough sweat on your palms. The space isn't too crowded to feel claustrophobic, yet as filled as it should be on a Saturday morning. Do you remember that feeling? Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters and friends, I ask you again, do you? I remember it vividly as though it happened yesterday. The chemicals in my body played mind games and toppled your head over heels. I remember as it happened yesterday. Raise your hands if you have ever proposed your love to someone. Darren, a lot of people. Yeah, thank you. Anybody online? Venkat, all Venkats have to raise their hand. Okay, thank you so much. I've done it too. It was at an age that I didn't know it was only infatuation. One November evening, on the streets of West Mumbai, my friend hacked into my Facebook account and blackmailed me. Jagan, if you don't propose to her now, I will post on your wall that you have AIDS. 7:30. The entire locality was buzzing with activity. The smell of Leo coffee in the air, mamas and mommies on their weekend romantic dates, the chat stalls brimming with the millennial gossip. I was there, like Minnal Murali, waiting for a max tuition to get over. Every fiber in my body trembled in both fear and excitement. Every second, every turn of the seconds watch on my hand was both fuel and water to my adrenaline pump. The hormones ran wild in my body. As she came, my friend whispered something in my ears. It could have been a spell. I told her verbatim what my friend said. It must have been a spell. It must have been that spell that she and I became strangers after that. That rascal friend of mine. Those were fun times. Coming back to college, then came college. Among the buzzwords, single and committed were the most predominant ones. The main aim was not just to get a degree. It was somehow auto-wired from childhood. We had other motives too. One of them was to fall in love. For an introvert like me, it only meant many more embarrassing moments. Some out of my own volition, I must say. Some out of my friends' ambition. In the first year, I became good friends with a girl from another department. We spoke over Facebook, messages, phone, and sometimes in college. Friends from my department took notice. Rest assured, after that, she and I became strangers. One afternoon, these guys picked me up like a patient on a stretcher and moved me to her classroom. If I had consented, I would have been a prince in a palanquin. But no, there was no democracy. They pulled me on their shoulders, carried me there. I'm easy to lift because I travel light, but that was used to my disadvantage. They picked me up, carried on their shoulders, and unloaded me onto her classroom. It was so embarrassing to be thrown in front of so many judgmental eyes. Later, I had to personally apologize to her to mend for that drama. The rest of the college years were like a drive through the desert. No sign of water, no sign of rain. Rain arrived much later in life, rather unexpectedly on a cold winter night. When it came, it did not drizzle. It poured down like cats and dogs, head over heels, madly. There is an unmatchable courage that runs through the spine when it pours. Have you guys felt that before? It's unmatchable courage that runs through your spine as though electricity going around. I remember vividly how, what is this? What is going on? The hormones run wild in your body. It is not the sun's, thank you. It is not the sun's temperature on that Saturday morning that causes the sweat on our palms. It is the rain that paints our palms with expressions of love. What happens when the rain stops? Can anybody give me an answer? Do our palms still sweat? Or do they turn into tears in the corner of our eyes? Priya tells me it's the latter of. It is the latter end. Dear friends, a flurry of questions flood my mind now. During my adolescent age, why didn't anyone teach me what is adolescent attraction? What about infatuation? Why does it feel good for me to look at her or him? Why does it feel good? Why don't we teach our kids or even share our experiences about love? Why don't our schools tell us about love? We are thrown into the deep end of the pool to learn it ourselves, and we fail miserably at it, like I did, like everybody does. Love is the most courageous and ambitious journey that I've ever undertaken. It is my biggest accomplishment yet. I will gladly and most dutifully share that experience with my children when they reach their age, when it rains in their world. With rain comes growth like a dense tropical rainforest, comes a strength like the deeply rooted banyan tree, comes courage like that of a lonely soldier at the enemy's gates. With rain comes an indomitable will and an unimpeachable character. And isn't that the rain that spins this world? So dear friends, shall we let it rain? Shall we, Toastmaster of the Day?
Toastmasters again gave an inspiration speech about love. I got the inspiration. Yes. But I'm mad. I'll check with my wife tonight. Let's see. Okay, we'll move to the educational session now. Next session. This person has 5 years of experience in Toastmasters, and whenever you see any stage outside of Medley, this person hosts the Medley flag. And when I asked about the theme, she said, "Obstacles help me to find out the secret weapons hidden with me." Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together to welcome Toastmaster Priya.
Good afternoon to all my fellow Toastmasters and guests. So, do you still feel the rain? Yes, I'm fully drenched in it. Thank you so much for that lovely speech. Now, coming back to today's session. The role of tag is being questioned by many new Toastmasters. So that's why we have this session to clarify a few doubts. When we come to Medley Club or any Toastmasters club, our first speech is CC1. or introducing yourself. Are we very comfortable giving our speech? You ask many new Toastmasters, the answer is no. That is why we always suggest, please play the role of tag. Tag here means timer, accounter, and grammarian. Why we always suggest them to take this role, especially for newcomers. Number one reason, you will understand the nuances of speechcraft. Sitting there playing this role, you watch the speaker. Number two, you are making yourself familiar with this new audience as well as with this stage. And when you feel you're ready, you can contact the VP and say, I'm ready to give my icebreaker speech. Even after giving your timer, accounter, and the grammarian role, what if I'm still not okay coming to the center stage? Please do this n number of times. You will see the change in yourself when you come back to give your first speech after playing these roles as many times as you're comfortable. So that is why we always push our newcomers to play this tag role. Now let us try to understand, most of us know, but still what is this? Timer, accounter, and grammarian. Timer, as we all know, he times every speech. Am I here to only time my prepared speech, TT, and evaluation? When I played the role of TM Modi for the first time, my team told me, as a TM Modi, you have only 5 to 6 minutes to give your intro speech. 2 minutes for every transition. Was it told to all of you? But timer is making note of not just your main speakers, as well for the TM Modi, general evaluator, and even our guest speeches. If this format was not being followed, imagine a person comes here and talks a few seconds, or he keeps stretching his speech. Are we going to still enjoy the meeting, or will we be able to finish it sharp at 5? How do you think all this is being happening? It is done by these tag players. And the other thing is, as we all know, for the newcomers, the cards that we show, 5, 6, and 7. 5th minute, green, 6th amber, 7th is red. When it comes to 7th minute, we need to hold on to that red. The grace period given to every speaker is 30 seconds. If I say 5 to 7, I am ready for the 7th minute. It's time to conclude. So as a speaker, I have prepared 7 minutes, but the grace period given is 30 seconds. But the timer is going to hold the red card till you finish your speech. He is not going to tell you it's 8 minutes or 9 minutes. It's your problem, not his problem. Please be very careful. This mantra is followed not just in club, even in any competition. It's been said sometimes we learn the hard way, and it happened to me too. When I went to the competition, I was disqualified because overshoot for a few seconds. You know what I did? The first thing I did after coming out of that competition was take the role of a timer, because then I wanted to know what it means losing for seconds. The timing plays a very vital role in Toastmasters club. When we go to competitions, we'll have more than one timer so that you get the accurate time period, even for seconds, because as I said, it matters. Now let's go to our next person is accountant. As the name itself suggests, something that which is very close, very dear to us is ours. So who is an accountant? One who knows your R's, your 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 so, your but, your if, and you know. So he's making note of all these unnecessary sounds, filler words, and repetitive words. And he's here to give us the report. Accountant and grammarians are only called at the end of the meeting, whereas timer is being called in every section. After a speech, he says if there are qualified speakers, and when he gives, he's asked to give the names of only qualified speakers. Please make this as a note. Don't give their time. Don't tell who is disqualified. This is never a practice in Toastmasters. Only if there are 5 speakers and 3 are qualified, we are here to give the read out the names of only qualified speakers. So that was completely, I forgot to mention during our timer. With the R counters, he gives his report at the end of the meeting. Now, while giving the report, there is one thing we have to make note. For example, while saying 1 hours, 2 hours, and so there will be some such members who keep they repeat the words. Very common word is So let us make it Frank saying, I heard you repeat this word several times. In this way, we are helping him to come out of this problem. And next time, whenever he goes, wherever he goes, whenever he wants to say, he will think twice. It's for his own good. And this is how we come out as better speakers. Now, I'm going to read out 2 reports to you all. Tell me which sounds better. Toastmaster Ganga had 1 hour, 16 hours, 13 souls. Toastmaster Vikram had 3 hours, 15 hours, and 8 souls. Toastmaster Vijay had 3 hours, 2 souls, and repetitive words. Or to make it more interesting, one Toastmaster club in Austria, they made out something, not as to make it more, add more fun to it. They said, today we will be charging 10 penny for all those who will be adding hours and ums in their speeches. And at the end of the report, the accountant came out and said, we are rich because I got 35 hours and 18 ums. He was so expressive. Now, why I'm saying this, every meeting we have this hours, our counters, our timers, and grammarian. So we want you all to bring out your creativity in this. Show us what new can be brought out instead of making it as something we have already done this, we have heard it. No, there is so much to add on. Be expressive even when you're reading that hours and report, because it matters to everyone, especially those who are given these speeches. Let's move on to next is grammarian. As we all know, grammarian is also known as language evaluator. What is he doing here? He is making note of all good usage and not so good usage. When we say good usage, what it is? Your metaphors, rhythmical structure formation, or what they say, they're also called as explicit use of words. These are the things a grammarian is making. It is also duty of a grammarian to see what is the theme of the meeting and based on that, introduce word of the day. If not with the theme, make sure you bring out a word of the day which is helpful for every one of us. Something we can use it in our day-to-day life. Now, and don't just give a word without telling the meaning or putting it in a sentence. Give us a word as our grammarian did today. He gave us the meaning behind it and also told us in what all ways we can put it in sentence. And a grammarian has to always encourage our members to use word of the day as much as possible. Not just good usage, we also say not just good usage, but there are a few times we see not so proper formation of sentences happen. We need to be very careful because we are here to encourage. When you find there is a mistake, and if I don't know what is the right word of replacing it, it's better to remain silent. Then you make a point saying, oh, this sentence is not put in a right format. If you have something constructive feedback, please go ahead, or else just keep a report saying, here are the good usage of words I like from your speech. Recently, when I went to one club, I heard a report and the grammarian kept saying, I liked your speech. The words that you used were so soothing. I loved that pronunciation. I was eager to know what is that he liked, but he never said what were they. So for all these counter and timer and grammarian, we must know one thing. You feel you're drawn out of the content or you're missing the speech. You're not able to catch the speaker. You may feel let down. Oh, I'm not understanding. Don't worry. You're doing a very important job. You'll be surprised to know that people are using unnecessary sounds as a support for their speech. And in this way, taking this role, you're finding a way to come out of it. might be the simple tip which is given to all of us when we come and give our TT speech is take a deep breath. Most of the time when we use this as and these filler words is to fill the gap. I'm thinking something, so it's to fill the gap we are using. So it's always said, take a deep breath and then come to give a TT speech. Most of these filler words are unintentional. Now, let's see if we are ready to play the role of grammarian. Do you think anyone can play the role of grammarian? When I saw senior Toastmasters speak English as a guest, I came as a guest for 5-6 meetings. I saw a few seniors give education session. I felt this platform was not meant for me because I can't speak that English. So now let me check if you all are ready with your English grammar. Are you all ready? I need some more energy. There, how come? Where are our online? Can I get some energy from the other side? Are you all ready?
Yes.
Okay, good, good. Now just correct this sentence, okay, if someone has used it in his speech or her speech. He was talking in a hurry voice. There's something wrong there. He was talking in a hurry voice. Just, no, just tell me what could be a right way of putting it in sentence. No, don't change the sentence. Do you think, okay, let me see. He was talking in a, sorry, I meant, did I say hurry? I'm very sorry, it's heavy voice. He was talking in a heavy voice. Do you think it's appropriate?
No, it is not appropriate.
That's what they're saying. He was talking loud would be more appropriate. Very, as Sir said, very small corrections, but it matters. I visited her ill mother in hospital. Very simple. So as a grammarian, when you're giving a report, you can tell. So this is where I felt you need to correct. I visited her sick mother in hospital. As simple as that. There is no limit in my patience. There is no limit to my patience. Very simple. And we also ask our grammarians to give tip of the day to make it more interesting. Every time we come, if you remember a few weeks back, there was a tip given, how do we say content and content? And guests came and told us, you know, we have been using it the other way sometime, knowingly or unknowingly, it's been happening. So if someone gives us a tip like this, definitely it helps us. Now, I'm going to ask you all, asking someone to repeat something. You want someone to repeat. What would you say? Excuse me is one common way. Yes, then once more. Once more. So once more would be appropriate? So no, we'll not accept it. Then pardon me. That's it. Could you kindly repeat it? Could you say that again? I didn't catch what you said. I didn't get that. Very simple. But what we have been using, excuse me, right? So we are now in Toastmasters. We need to polish ourselves. Asking someone to help you out. How can we do that? Okay, then. Okay, I would also like to get some answers from our online members. Yes, unmute. Asking someone to help you out. How would you approach if you need a help?
Could you please help with this?
I didn't get that.
Can I borrow you for a minute?
I think that will work. Right. Next. Oh, yes. Why not? That's it. Then. Fine. It's very simple. Could you do me a favor? That also works. Can you give me a hand with this? That also works. Can I ask a favor, as someone said right now? That also works. Please, could I ask you for some advice? So here, just giving you an example for newcomers. Don't keep it very complicated, like dictionary words and all. when you give a tip, so that when I step out, I should know, yes, I'm going to bring this change in me and work on it. So as they say, it may sound very simple, but when you see a very good speaker, what is that you like about them? First thing is we feel, oh, it is effortless. What do you think they have it in them? It's awareness of what to hold on and what to drop. So we need to drop these filler words. We need to hold on to good English words and practice. That's it. And that's all we as STAG are going to do for ourselves as well for our members. So if you need any help, what is that we need to do? Ask. Because Toastmasters are ever ready to help. With this, best wishes to all our new members.
When you hold the screen, hold it. Then when the time comes for hamper to become, because I want to be looking at you all. Same way, hold hamper, bring bread, then bring back. Just want to add.
Thank you, Toastmaster Priya, for the insightful session for the new members and the veterans as well. Timer, could you read out the qualified speakers?
The qualified speakers from the great speech session is
Okay. Okay. The next session is PT session, table topic session. To conduct this session, we have a person who's a sales professional with a passion to learn and venture. When I asked about the theme, obstacle is the way, he says, when you overcome an obstacle, it makes you stronger and wiser. You get abundance, happiness, and satisfaction. And this person is quite famous for his song during a milestone medley meeting. And he sang more than 10 times, I guess, continuously during a milestone medley milestone. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together to welcome table topic master, Toastmaster Venkateshan.
Thanks, K. Modi. Obstacle is the way. That was the reason I sang it for 10 times. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Table topic session, one of the interesting and enriching session of Toastmasters, wherein the Toastmaster, the table topic master will call upon one of the participants and share a topic, any topic, and the speaker has to speak about the topic for 1 to 2 minutes. As the timer has already said, the timing will be for minimum time will be 1 minute and maximum will be 2 minutes, and they will get a grace time of 30 seconds post 2 minutes. So I'll be conducting the table topic session. In today's table topics, we are going to talk about books. Books are the forum or the place by which you travel others' life and dream others' dreams without moving your feet. So in today's session, I will be sharing some famous books which I have read through and which I have come through and which I want to read through. And it will be a more generic session where I'll be sharing the book, the topic of the book and the author and the related, the content is related to. But I welcome the speaker to speak on either on the book, if they have already read, or on the topic or the subject, or they can talk anything related to that topic or anything their experience in their life experience. So with that introduction, first I will go to the first topic of today's table topic session is Born to Win. This is one of the famous books which I started reading in when I was doing my engineering, and still it remains in my mind. Even I read a few books months back, they don't remain in my mind so green as this book. So this has given me a different perspective how we deal with people in your daily transactional discussions. So to talk on this, I call upon DTM Sampath Saurirajan. DTM Sampath? Okay, so I will move to the next speaker. I would like to call upon DTM Thomas Abraham.
Thank you very much, TT Master. This is one day I'm not very pleased with DTM Sampath. This topic was impossible for me. And I was so happy it flew over my head to the lap of DTM Sampath, who very much deserves to talk about this. But then he takes a break at the wrong time. What chance do I have to win if this is my sense of luck here? Come on. No, but on a serious note, born to win sounds nice. It is typical inspirational genre. But is it realistic? I beg to differ. All of us are born to all of us are born to win in a particular way, not in this all capitals win. That's big. I think we must learn to understand that we needn't be all capital wins. We can have our own wins. Here is a youngster who proposed. He will find his right person. Here are each of us came through different circumstances. We lost our interviews once, twice, thrice, and we are in happy positions. So what is win? What is loss? Very flamboyantly, we say multiple losses become win. See, it's nice for at 2:55 meeting in Toastmasters. It sounds nice. But on a more realistic note, outside the TT session, I think we need to look at it. That's when I find myself very happy. I'm not a winner, W-I in all capitals. I'm a winner the way I wanted it. And I'm sure that's the way it's for each of you. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't have the confidence to come and talk if you were failures. That's the win I enjoy. That's more of that W capital, other two small win I wish for each. Thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Sampath Rajan. Somehow I got this idea to tell you something. Sound is sense. Thank you.
Thanks, DTM Thomas. We'll move to the next book. The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. Authored by Robin Sharma. The first edition was in 2003. To talk on this topic, on this book, I invite Toastmaster Venkateshan. Toastmaster Venkateshan, The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. You're on mute, sir.
Thank you for the nice topic, table topic, master magnetization. To be honest, I never read this book. I used, in my perspective, the life is more important. Like perseverance is most important. Like to develop, to reach, to raise a bar and other things. They used to talk about all these things. But whatever work, whatever we are doing it through our self-conscious, and we should work towards the commitment. One more point is success is not permanent. To maintain success, you should keep on developing. That is why I used to tell my friends and colleagues, I want to be number 2, I don't want to be number 1. Number 1 is there is a chance of saturation. At any time you can fall down also. Number 2 means you must keep on insisting, you must develop everything. That is why I prefer number 2. To be more honest, the way the commitment should be there. They used to talk about the smart work, hard work and all. Whatever it is, your involvement is there in your profession, then only you can reach to the top. Thank you for a nice topic, Mr. Venkateshan. Thank you. Over to you.
Thanks, Toastmaster Venkateshan. We'll move to the next topic. The next book is Ikigai. So this was authored based on the Japanese way of life or a happier life. Secrets to making good habits and how to lead a happy life. To talk on this topic or anything related to happiness, how to bring happiness in life or making your best habits. I invite Toastmaster Raghunath Nair. Toastmaster Raghunath Nair. Okay, I don't see Toastmaster Raghunath Nair. I will move on to guest Sandhya. Guest Toastmaster Sandhya to speak on this.
Blessed I am to have this topic today because I love this word, ikigai. Ikigai, for all us to know, it is not a single word. It means 4 different meanings. 1 is our passion, 2 is vocation, 3 mission, and 4 profession. Passion, what we love to do, 2 mission, what value it can add to the other world, 3 occasion, what we are good at, and 4 profession, it should yield us some profits. So what is ikigai for me? For me, my ikigai is speaking. I love to speak. I love to inspire through my words. When we want to become successful in life, especially when we want our children to be successful in life, don't put them in the so-called careers. Although you find the adroit in them, do not put them in the so-called career like doctor, engineer, which is so monotonous. Look at their ikigai right from LKG. See what they value to do. See what they are good at. See what they love to do. Cultivate that, nurture that in the children. When they come to their 10th or 12th, they would have spent hours of work in their passion, in what they love to do, in their vocation, so that when they finish their 12th, they would be in a position to make it as their profession. Ikigai is the secret for our children to flourish in life, not for our children, for everyone to flourish in life. Ikigai, the famous Japanese words. It's not even late for us. We can also choose our ikigai from today. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sandhya. I'll share the next topic. The next one is Rich Dad, Poor Dad, which has spoken about financial discipline and how we build wealth. There are different secret elements in this book. So to call on this book or something related to the financial discipline, I would request guest Narendra to come on and speak on this. Guest Narendra.
Surprise, present surprise, all right. Let me start with out of the 5 books, am I right? I'm familiar with 4, even Ikigai. I got to speak about Rich Dad and Poor Dad. Initially, I thought it's going to be a story about 2 families, a rich boy and a poor boy, their upbringing. No, it was totally different, but beautifully told like a story. It's as simple as that. What is financial discipline, or how do you build your wealth? Typically, there is a character from a poor upbringing, another one from a comfortable upbringing, but both have their own spheres of life. But when they mix up, what happens is what finally the outcome, financial discipline. There is a, as they say, there is a scarcity level and an abundance level. What is scarcity level? I want more and more. Abundance level, I want, but I'm willing to share. So that abundance level is really wealth building. It is just not the dollars in the bank. Wealth building is in many spheres. My wealth could be even my health, or could be my family. Of course, finance matters a lot. You can't lean on anybody perpetually. It's a beautiful book. But again, am I out of time? I'm sorry. Okay. There is another book which he showed, Robin Sharma's. What was the book? I'm sorry? Oh, no, yeah, that was the most sensational book which brought him into the limelight. I have read that. But again, I would just suggest, read one book of his. It has turned my life. Who will cry when I die?
When you die.
Till I can never forget that book. That has inspired me so much. Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, Ms. Narendra. Actually, I wanted to discuss or share this theme to bring awareness of the books. I wanted to keep that Who Will Cry When You Die in this list, but I just wanted to keep one book per author. So that was the reason I didn't have the other book. I do like that other book. It is, for a long time, I read it more than twice or thrice, the same book. Thanks for that. So next topic we will move on to how to win friends and influence people. It is more of a management and how you build a relationship with others. To talk on this book, I request Toastmaster Priya to come and talk on this. Toastmaster Priya.
Okay. Yes. Let me say what is my belief in. I have read this story very recently. DVG is a famous Kannada literature person, and he believed in social service. When they used to work in a village for upliftment, and when they worked during those days, that village was attacked by influenza. They started working day and night. They used to carry the buckets to put chlorine. They helped the patients who did not have any help. And they used to carry them to the hospitals and did all kind of service. And one evening, it was one such, though DVG was such a busy person, he never gave an excuse for not being part of any such social service. And one meeting, DVG was not to be seen. And very surprisingly, there was a guest who attended that meeting. It was Sir M. Vishweshwaraya. And he was surprised and he wanted to know the reason why he wasn't there. And when he went to meet DVG because he wasn't well, he said, "Friend, you don't have time to fall sick." So it showed there are many such people around us who have made name and who have taken top position, even including at present what we see is in Ratan Tata. We have not kept them as a role model for the money they have made, but the way they have influenced or they have touched people. And that's what I see when I appreciate or I admire them. So for me, influencing people is what they have done for the society, how they conduct their life with every simple person or the best and the worst they meet in their life. And that's, for me, is truly influencing people. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Priya. It was really inspirational. Just I Googled and D.V. Kundappa was the name of that social activities. And our Toastmaster Priya is also one of the active social activists. We have heard her inspirational stories in one of her speeches in the last few weeks. Thanks for that. We'll move to the next topic. The next one is atomic habits, how to build good habits into a greater characters. To talk on this, I invite a guest, Sohail. Guest Sohail.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. So I would like to speak about a different book which I'm reading recently, and this book shared today as well, The Secret. One of the mind-blowing book which I read recently. It says one specific thing in the book: feeling gratitude. Whenever we wake up, we have to be thankful that we wake up today. We are alive today. I'm standing here, I'm speaking in front of everyone. I should be grateful for that. Feeling grateful gives me happiness, and the happiness is attracting all the beautiful things in my life.
and without like always complaining about the things which we don't have in the life, we are totally forgetting about praising the beautiful blessings which we are having in the life. So we always should be blissful. We always should count the blessings which we are having in the life, right from the health, right from the beautiful houses we are living, and all the sophisticated things which we are enjoying in the life. And more importantly, it says one beautiful thing, law of attraction, which is what we think we become. And if we always think good, if we always feel that we are the best, and the outcome is going to be the one which we always think. And what we always visualize is what we are going to manifest in the life. If we think that we are the best, the outcome is going to be the best. And most important thing which I learned from the book is we have to be always positive and happy in all the situations. We have to be confident, and whatever the challenges which we are facing, we have to think about the best outcome, or we have to think about the outcome which we want to face from the situation. We have to visualize that, then the result is going to be that. And to connect to this book, this is the habit which I'm practicing day by day. And more importantly, I want to be a confident and a good speaker. And this is the habit, or whatever the learnings which I got from the book, I'm here. And yeah.
Thanks, guest Sohail. It was really interesting. Feeling gratitude is one of the habits which I am also trying to practice. And the second thing is, you become what you think. I always take that quote from Henry Ford. If you think you can or you cannot, you are always right. So it is your thoughts which makes you. Well said. Thanks, guest Sohail. We'll move on to the next topic. This is more interesting and more, much familiar with the corporate worlds. The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. So to talk on this book, I invite guest Constant. Guest Constant.
Good evening, everyone. Generally, I'm not a good reader of the books. Even though I start out of curiosity, maybe I'll go out 7 or 10 pages. After the summer or go, I'll keep it somewhere. So reading, I'm continuing to improve that area, but somewhat is not working so far. But I'm trying to read out, see a lot of visuals, which will help me to understand, maybe the audio and everything. So 7 habits probably for effective success of life, maybe will have discipline, maybe, which is more important. Like one of the discipline, I wanted to improve my communication, I came here. Similarly, everybody need to have some sort of discipline which make us to have a successful. So if you look at all the legends who are succeed in their life, they have been much more discipline, even from the health and diet everywhere. So discipline is some of the important one which I feel is a healthy habit for everybody to have follow or to adapt. So that's when I feel, I'm sorry, I don't know much of that.
Thanks for being honest, Constant. Even I am not a avid reader. So there are very rare books I have read, but those have been more inspirational and they have changed some of my habits. So thanks for sharing that. We'll move to the next one. So this is a autobiography by Satya Nadella, who is the CEO of Microsoft. Hit.refresh. So to speak on this, I invite Toastmaster Mohan. Toastmaster Mohan Sundaram. Toastmaster Mohan Sundaram. Okay, so maybe we will switch on to the next available Toastmaster. Toastmaster Raghunath Mishra. Toastmaster Raghunath Mishra.
Yeah. Sorry, can I? get the topic again.
Yeah. So you have to speak on this book. This is an autobiography by Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella, or you can talk about him or whatever you know about the industry or anything. Yeah.
Well, though I haven't read this book, but I have read a couple of books that you have mentioned earlier. But definitely, when it comes to Satya Nadella, I'm a follower of him, and I try to listen what he speaks in the or what he publishes, his opinions and all. Definitely something that is quite inspiring. From this, I heard about this book, Hit Refresh, which is something that he wanted to restart. I think it was some time he visited to meet one of his school teacher who was quite old, and he came all the way from US, and when he tried to meet her, it was very emotional and one of the expressive moment that he has mentioned. So in that, I think after that he wrote this book, Hit Refresh, and he tried to mention like from the summary, what I understood is like, okay, whatever you have done till that, perfectly fine, but revisit again, restart again, and try to revisit what you have achieved and what can be done. That's why this title is more about. That's what I understood from this topic of this book. That's for now I have to say. Over to you.
Thanks, Toastmaster Raghunath Mishra. The snippet which you shared is really interesting, and it gives more of opportunity for us to read that book. So I remember there was one other pointer which he shared. Still, Microsoft is not clear why the user needs to press 3 buttons, Control Alt Delete, to delete the tasks. So in that book, he has mentioned about this. It still looks foolish at this point, but don't know why they came up with that option. Interesting one to read. Thank you. We'll move to the next one. Maybe I'll keep on to this one. To talk on this, I will invite our guest Seshadri.
Yeah.
So this is a book, Think Again, by Adam Grant. This is about how we change or how quickly you adapt to the habits and adapt to the changes in this VUCA world, volatile, uncertain, and complex world. So you can talk on this topic or something related to thinking habits and adapting to the VUCA world. Anything related to this, whatever comes to your thoughts.
Thank you. So good evening, everyone. To be honest, I haven't read this book, so I'll just share my thoughts on the topic on the book on which the book is written. So basically, habits, what those mean to me is like those are very important for me, because habits make my everyday life. Like whatever is a habit to me is what time consumes most of my time, my day-to-day life, and also helps me to finish my tasks. But there are two kinds of habits, which is like good habit and a bad habit. And especially me, I have a lot of bad habits. Like one of them is my biting nails. I am basically get very tensed about things like exams and stuff. So I bite my nails a lot. So often I do this, and it's a very bad habit, and I need to change it. But while looking at good habits, there are habits like you wake up early every day and get over with your things and stuff. So it's very important to learn these habits and make yourself a better human being every day. Thank you.
Thanks, Seshadri. The first step towards building good habits is to know what bad habits you have. So I think we have already embarked into that journey. So all the best to you. So I'll move to the next topic. For that, I would request guest Ramya from the in-person meeting to speak on this topic. I'll share the topic. So start with why. This is a book written by Simon Sinek. You might have listened to him, heard about him in all the social medias recently, but this is the book which was written by him in 2009, which talks about every action, either in the business world or personal life, should start with a purpose. So to talk on this book or something related to their life purpose, I request guest Ramya to speak on that.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for having me here. When I was seeing or when I was looking at the books, I have not read most of the books here because I read the bedtime stories to my kids. I need all those small bedtime novels and small stories like that. That one story which really helped me to change my character or to change or to build a new habit or to build a leadership skill, as it says on the screen over here. It's one such book which is called as The Rabbit. It's between a rabbit and a boy. So there is a small boy, a toddler, who has built his building blocks. And in an accident or just a wind was passing by and the blocks fell down and all the blocks were crashed down. And this boy started crying. Oh, what has happened? I can't take this. This boy was having a lot of emotions and a lot of stresses. There came a snake and it said, oh, don't cry. Let's go to this person, to someone else's, and let them crash that also. Then this toddler was not convinced with that and was crying again and again. Then elephant came. Let's go to someone else and stomp theirs. Let's have fun with that, it said. No, this boy did not get convinced at all. The other animals came and then it said, we will do this, we will do that. But the boy was not at all convinced. Then came a rabbit. The boy didn't even realize that the rabbit was there. And the rabbit came next to him and then it sat next to him. Just did not say any word, just not even a single word. It just stood by him. And this boy felt the touch of the rabbit and then only he realized, okay, there is a rabbit next to him. And then this boy looked at it and then he was crying and he hugged the rabbit and said, what all happened? I want to do this, I want to do this. Like the snake said, let's thrash. Like the elephant said, let's stomp it. He let out all his emotions. He let out all his emotions to the rabbit only because he stood next to him without saying a word. And from then, then the rabbit said, okay, let's start building the blocks. And then the boy started convincing himself to build it. Only thing which I learned from here is letting out of your emotions wherever you can and however you can, but in a calmer way, and just stand by those people who are about to let their emotions. And that is something which I have learned, and that is something which has helped me in my leadership skills also. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guest Ramya. Really, it was an interesting story. To be very frank, I am also a good avid reader of Sirur Palar in the recent days to my kid, not the management books of late. So with this, we are approaching the time for table topic session. Just one last screen I wanted to share here, just to show the images courtesy because Toastmaster Jagan will be unhappy with me. So these images were taken from Amazon and Microsoft PowerPoint online pictures. Thanks everyone for participating in this table topic session. Now I hand it over back to Toastmaster for the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Venkateshan. I think he went to the bookstore yesterday. I guess the VP Education would have send the message maybe Friday. So, Timer, please read out the qualified TD speakers.
The qualified speakers are E.M. Thomas, Toastmaster Venkateshan, guest Sandhya, guest Maninder, Toastmaster Priya, guest Suel, guest Constant, Toastmaster Raghunath Nayak, guest Satri.
Thank you. Thank you. Google Form Master, please prepare the Google Form. And special mention to the guest who have done a wonderful job. I could see a great speaker in you. If you want to join Toastmasters after this meeting, VP Education Toastmaster Dinakaran will explain the process. An online Toastmaster Venkateshan will explain about Toastmasters. Moving on to the next session, it's the evaluation session. This person, I asked about the evaluator role this week. And this person pushed me to the TMOD role. And I said, no, evaluator role, no, TMOD. And with the help of my mentor and grace from you, I'm running this show. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together to welcome Toastmaster Dinakaran to conduct the evaluation.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. We are back again. Thanks to Toastmasters for gracefully accepting this TMOD role for today. Now we are getting into the heart of the Toastmaster session, the detailed evaluation session, where we'll have the evaluation for report speeches. We'll have the tag report and also the general evaluation for the overall session. We'll start with the report features evaluation. For this speech given by Toastmaster Prasanna Venkatesh, we have the evaluator, Toastmaster Prasanna Vani. She is an anesthesiologist working in Cancer Institute, and to her, obstacle is helps us to grow, and then it shapes us to become a better person, and then it helps us, it keeps us to become very confident in life. So to Toastmaster Prasanna Vani for the evaluation.
Thank you, General Evaluator. There was this huge block of ice right in the middle of a road. People came in with instruments of various sizes and shapes, trying to break down the ice. But it took only a few moments of sunshine and the ice all melted away. I experienced the same few moments of sunshine as I heard you, Toastmaster Prasanna Venkatesh. And compare it with sunshine because it was filled with warmth of authenticity and you radiated confidence from the first word till the end. A narrative was exemplary and it had many strong points to it, especially considering that it was your first speech. The noteworthy points that stood out in the speech are the chronology, started from the childhood to the school, college, and your current job position, and all the challenges you faced, and all the events that shaped you to what you are today. You also well described the circumstances that made you take up your engineering degree. Other than just say, I joined college and took up this degree, you conveyed all the circumstances and it helped us understand you as a better person. When you shared your dilemma of picking up a medical college seat with payment versus an engineering seat, you conveyed your emotion of disappointment, which was well palpable. We could all feel the disappointment. You helped us empathize with you. You were extremely candid when you described your shortcomings as you had to take up the speaking roles at your workplace. It takes a lot of courage to admit it in front of an audience. You had enough smiles throughout the speech, and your humor was refreshing and natural when you said to your colleague that, what did I do for that? You had a controlled pace, and I could also see that the speech was well mentored. On the improvement side, you could have utilized the time better. For that, I suggest that you record your speech and see how many words you can in 1 minute, and multiply that by the number of minutes you have, and make your script ready to have so many number of words. Have a couple of lines extra so that you can add it or remove it depending on the time availability. It would also be better for the listeners if you could have a one-line summary at the end of the speech and leave with an impactful conclusion. For any of us who are in the beginning level of car driving, you know that the most difficult part is to get the car to move. You are off to a great start in your public speaking journey. I commend your speech, especially for the structured, organized structure with great transitions, and you effectively made us feel your emotions, and you had the perfect pace. There are a few improvements like the timings and the conclusion, which every eminent speaker now faced once in their lifetime. These things come with practice, and you can easily become adroit at these. With this wonderful start, I'm sure you are right on track on your journey, and you are soon to realize your potential of becoming a great speaker that you are. Congratulations.
Thank you, Toastmaster Prasanna. It helped us to rewind this speech by Toastmaster Prasanna. Next evaluator is Toastmaster Raghunath Mishra. He's going to evaluate the speech given by Toastmaster Jagan. Raghunath Mishra, who is our VPPR, and he works for the Flex organization. Over to Toastmaster Raghunath Mishra for the evaluation.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Good afternoon, all. When I heard the speech of Toastmaster Jagan, I had two things in mind. Shall I listen to his story, or shall I, as an evaluator, shall I note down what he is speaking? But my role was to evaluate, so I was trying to note down what he was trying to speak. But the moment he started with a note like walking on the beach, my antenna started tracking that signal. Okay, I also go to the beach early in the morning, and he was mentioning about the beach. I'm sure with that he started asking. He started the speech with the statement of the first law, and with that he hit the purpose statement. He tried to drag the attention of each and every audience, and probably that is what he was also mentioned in the beginning, like he wanted to deliver this speech again for the sake of the audience, in front of the audience. Kudos to Jagannath. I couldn't note down anything because I was swayed down with his speech, and I was just trying to listening and trying to correlate. Whenever he was taking me to the different stages of the story, I was trying to relate myself to the story. Beautifully written the story. There was a purpose statement which was expressed properly with the right question, and then slowly he started taking us to the next moment, next stage, where the fun moment, where he was instigated by his friends to express his love and all, and what are the challenges that he faced, the most funny moments. I'm sure everyone would have felt or experienced it during their lifetime. Then come to the tone of the speech. Whenever a story was expressed, it has a two-way sword. If it is not expressed with a proper tone, proper expression, then it sounds irritating. But it was not the case with Jagan. It was perfectly expressed. The tone, the body language, everything was very perfect. And with each and every emotion, the tone was changing. Probably that was one of the best things that I had about the story. Each story has a conflict statement. Here he has also the conflict to express his love or not, and conflict to express his story to his next generation or not. But he took this conflict, he created that eagerness within us, or at least within me, and at the end he concluded that very expressively. So I found the whole story was very interesting, very expressive. For me, there is I didn't find anything to as an improvement suggestion, because for me everything looks perfect. So I'm looking forward an opportunity for evaluate yours another session, Jagan, to find some mistakes so that I can give my feedback. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Mr. Soda, for that wonderful evaluation. Now we'll get on to the TAG report. Timer, are you ready with the report? Could you please? Yeah.
So hello, Toastmasters. Here is my timer report. I will start off with the table topics. For the table topic session, ATM Thomas spoke for 1 minute and 50 seconds. Toastmaster Venkatesan spoke for 1 minute and 20 seconds. Guest Sandhya spoke for 2 minutes and 07 seconds. Guest Narinder spoke for 2 minutes and 03 seconds. Toastmaster Priya spoke for 1 minute and 56 seconds. Guest Well spoke for 1 minute and 58 seconds. Guest Constant spoke for 1 minute. Toastmaster Raghunath Mishra spoke for 1 minute and 33 seconds. Guest Sesadri spoke for 1 minute and 17 seconds. And guest Ramaya spoke for 2 minutes and 40 seconds. For the prepared speech sessions, Toastmaster Prasanna Venkatesh spoke for 3 minutes and 55 seconds. Toastmaster Jagan spoke for 6 minutes and 59 seconds. For individual evaluations, Toastmaster Prasanna Vani spoke for 3 minutes and 9 seconds, and Toastmaster Raghunath Mishra spoke for 3 minutes and 30 seconds. And for educational session, Toastmaster Priyadarshini spoke to 16 minutes and 30 seconds. That's all from my side. Over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Raghunath. We'll go on the Akoda report. Toastmaster Anuradha, please.
Good evening once again. Here is my report. First of all, I congratulate Toastmaster Jagan, Toastmaster Priya, and guest Sandhya for a clean speech. Then, congratulations to Toastmaster Prasanna Vani. Except for Q&As, it was a clean speech. Then coming to Prasanna Venkatesh, he used several R's and few ands and so. And coming to Toastmaster Venkateshan, he used a few words repetition like you must, whatever, I, and. And coming to guest Narendra, he used several and word. And guest Sohail used few are, few so, few like, and several and. Guest Constant used repetition like so and but. Toastmaster Raghunath Mishra used several R's, few so, and few like, and. Guest Seshatri used a few are, few so, and several like, and. Guest Ramya used a few are, few so, and a few repetitions like, and then, and that, and several ands. And during evaluation, Toastmaster Raghunath Mishra used several repetitions like I, few like a word, few words like but, and several ands. This is my report. Thank you for the opportunity. After today's education session by Toastmaster Priya, I really understood the role of the tag. I did, after joining here, I did the timer role twice, grammarian role once, and accountant role once. But today I really mean that I understood what is the role for it, and it will. Sorry, I myself is using many words, so I will avoid in my speech. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Anuradha, for your good job today. That's why I want to check with them. Now we are more to grammarian. Toastmaster Rajesh Ravu for the report.
Thank you, G. First of all, word of the day is used twice, once by guest Sandhya and once by Toastmaster Prasanna Vani. And then the improper usage of word, I did not notice any improper usage. And on good usage of words, Toastmaster Jagan, in the prepared speech, he has used so many words which are good. So I could not note down all of them. At least 3 or 4 I could note down. Drive through desert, dense tropical rainforest, unpitchable character, and so many others which I could not note down. DTM Thomas, capital W win. I also could not understand what does that mean, but I have noted it. Toastmaster, guest Sandhya, monotonous. Guest Narendra, you can't lean on anybody perpetually. Guest Sohail, you become what you think. Guest constant. Discipline is a healthy habit. Guest Ramya. Stand by somebody who needs it. Then Toastmaster Pasanabani used many good words like palpable, empathize, candid. Just Toastmaster Raghunath Misra, sweat. Yeah, so that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rajesh. And thanks to all the technical players for being attentive and then for the active listening. Let's have a round of applause for all the technical. It's time for the general evaluators report. We started on time, and our set the rules. And we also had the guest introduction. Our president had the welcoming note for all the dignitaries who are part of the meeting. The prepared speeches are well prepared and mentored, so it was all like the right effort is put in, and then it was brought in effortlessly. And all the guests are given the opportunities for all the TT speeches session, and also the thanks to Toastmaster Venkatesh for the innovative TT session. It was very insightful and helped us to learn a lot. It was really nice. And evaluation session, it was enlightening for all the new members, and it helped us to again rethink and then learn about all these basics of the tech roles. The evaluation was all wonderful and then detailed, and then it was very helpful. Evaluations were given to the speakers. The few areas improvement is something that we can look at. I think it's a collective effort. There are like we can come in early and then try to keep the right temperature for the room. And one more area that we can improve on is where the online attendees. There are sometimes like people are like moving away, like putting on mute, and we need to avoid that. To try to see like if you are attending the meeting, please stay in the meeting and be participative, and that would be really helpful for the overall proceedings of the meeting. With this, I will hand it over to PM Modi. Thank you.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Please give a big round of applause for the role players and the General Evaluator. Timer, please read out the qualified evaluators. Those are qualified. Right, you have form. Toastmasters, please fill out the form for the best speaker, TT speaker, evaluators. Right. With this one, we come to the end of the meeting. So, when, sir, for your question, 1930, January 26, Gandhi became the leader of the Congress. He joined in 1915. So, January 26, 1930, he became the leader of the Congress.
March happened 32, is that right?
Sorry, 30, sir. 1930, same year March.
Gandhi comes back from South Africa in 1917.
50.
Then joins a year or two Congress slowly.
Yeah.
It's all there in this nice privilege to this opportunity.
So thank you.
I beg your pardon, I was wrong.
Yeah, so the exact data is 1915. He comes from the South Africa and joins in Congress in 1930, January 26. He becomes the leader of the Congress, national leader. And same year, March, he starts the 387 kilometers walk, Gandhi Yatra. Sure, sir. Thank you so much. And after this 387 kilometers walk, when the reporter were asking Gandhi, so how did you overcome all these obstacles? This is too much for a 61-year-old person, and you are not healthy, you are lean. And Gandhiji smiled and he said, boss, whether you take obstacle or a stimulus, there is a gap between your action or your response or your reaction. In that gap, if you strengthen your mind and body, you'll become a better person. You can easily overcome any obstacles. You can face any challenges. You can jump any hurdles. And that's what I did. I took the gap, I prepared my mind, prepared my body, and I completed this 387 kilometers walk. And that changed the entire country's future and my future as well. When we were thinking as young people, when hurdle comes to us, we immediately react, respond, we blame, but then we didn't take the time. After reading that book, I always sat back and I think when problem comes to me, okay, what is the first thing I have to do? I have to control myself, control my emotion, I have to strengthen my entire thinking process. And then in this time, in this process, I'm getting the solution for the problem, or I'm overcoming the obstacle. That's the message I want to share with you. With this one, I want to hand over the session to the presiding officer, Toastmaster Dinakaran.
Let's have a round of applause for our TM Modi. Any obstacles? I think yes, to overcome those obstacles. Okay. I think Google Forms are all sent out. Okay. All of you are like got the forms. So in the meantime, like we have the icebreaker session given by Toastmaster Prasanna Venkatesh. Let's have a round of like standing ovation for them. That's a wonderful session. I think we all enjoyed. We all had a good time. So we had wonderful prepared speeches, and Prasanna Venkatesh taking us through his life journey, like, and then how he is like become like he is with us in the Medley Toastmasters, and Toastmaster Jagan sharing his life experience. This voting is all going on. Yeah.
Yes, feedback.
Okay, now we will have the feedback from the guests. Anybody is willing to come and give the feedback?
Seeing my face, please don't get bored again and again. Again and again, I'm saying the same things. The books were very interesting today. The table topics which were given, the name of the books was quite interesting. Why interesting? Because I have never read any books apart from academics. This is the first time I'm seeing a lot of books there. So I'm an audio person, I'm not a visual person. I hear a lot, I hear a lot of audios. So again, a new challenge which I was thinking when I sat there, audio books, I don't know what's going to come up. It just came up. So I really thank Toastmasters to build my confidence a lot. Thank you so much.
We're happy that we are going to become a part of Pandi family.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Constantly would like to share some few words since it's your first day today. So, yeah. And before second. Okay.
So as I said in last week, I was part of Toastmasters HSBC, where I was part of 6 months. So I know the proceeding, how the meeting goes. So it's the right platform for people like me to upskill their communications and structure they be very easy to speak up. So again, this group, this Medley Toastmaster Club is one of the good group Toastmaster in Chennai, which I experienced in last week as this week. It's an excellent platform for me to grow. Thank you.
Thank you for the wonderful feedback. You like to share them, yeah? Just yeah.
Hello again. Thank you so much for the wonderful sessions, and thank you so much, Ms. Priya, Toastmaster Priya, who has enlightened what Toastmasters are all about. So when I joined the first session as guest, I was not understanding what the timer was, what the grammarian would do. I was just thinking they were all very good speakers, and I understood that they are all. No, I did not mean it in a wrong way. They are all beginners. So when I get to become a member, I may also be taking these notes, and I find grammarian job is going to be really challenging because we have to listen a lot. So which will also help us to grow in our own way. Communicate with the communication and also in a personality development. So I find that is very challenging. And thank you so much for that insight of saying each and every role about. Thank you.
Online guest Seshadri, you are around. Would you like to share some feedback?
Hi, sure. So today's session was also an informative one, like last one, and I enjoyed it very much. And I would like to be a part of it further and till I become a member. And thank you again.
Thank you, Mr. Seshadri. Now we will move on to the next session. It's about the best speakers and role players. Best TD speaker to guest Sandhya. Best tag role player, Toastmaster Anurava. Best evaluator, Toastmaster Prasad. Best speaker, Toastmaster Jagan. Best role player, Toastmaster Dhan. This we are coming to the end of the session. We have started on time. I'm not like closing at 5, I think. Thank you so much. Hope you all enjoyed. Now I declare this imaginary camera. With this imaginary camera, I declare the meeting closed. Now the session is open for